Hi, it's Josie, and today I am going to show you how I lunge a horse that's never been lunged before. This was a question or a comment that was left in the comment section. I think it was under Bonnie the black mare that I showed you how I lunged them. Now the person left the comment saying this would be great to see with a horse that's never lunged before. That mare was a horse that had never lunged before. That was her first time lunging. And I am going to show you Lily's first time lunging today. I've changed it up a little bit. I'm going to use my cavesson rather than the halter. She's never had the cavesson on. This is the first time today. And in fact, it's the first time this particular cavesson's been used. It was a birthday present from my husband. So I'm about to use it. But what I'd like you to know is that Lily has done a lot of groundwork because I'm starting her under saddle. I've had a couple of sits on her and 2 or 3 rides out here. If you bring your horse out into the arena or wherever you go and ask it to lunge and you haven't taught it the basics of what you expect it to do, you're setting your horse up to fail. And that is very unfair on your horse. So Lily knows what I want her to do. So here I want her to go backwards. She goes in a minute. And here I want her to go sideways with her shoulders. Good girl. And here I want her to move her haunches away from me. And they are the basic moves that you need to get your horse to lunge. Otherwise it doesn't understand what you're doing. I do teach all of that in the academy, as in the groundwork stuff. I've got a course in there that teaches you that. But today we are going to do Lily in the cavesson here, and she's not had it before, so she's not going to understand exactly what all the aids mean because she's used to the halter and not coming from the top of the nose. So the first thing I'm going to do with her, and I'll just try and do this, so I may leave it in so you can see it, is teach her what the halter means. Otherwise, I better move that out the way. Otherwise, see already she doesn't know to follow that feel. Good girl. So what I did was I got to the end of the lunge rein there and I waited until she worked out that she needs to come forward with it because she's used to it being under here and coming and putting pressure over here. Good girl. All right, so I just want to remind her, thank you, can I have that backed up, that this now will mean take your shoulders over this way. Good girl, actually, she's pretty good. This will mean move your hind quarter and give at the front end. Good. There's a little bit of pressure on that there. Yes, good girl. So she moved her hind quarter, but still, had some pressure. That's better. Good girl. That's much better, but I want her to step softly over. Good. Very good. All right. So it's the coming forward. Yeah, see, she doesn't understand that there. Yeah, good girl. So I just held the pressure till she stepped forward. The pressure was released. Horses learn from the release of the pressure. So she gave herself her own release because I wasn't pulling. I don't have a lunge whip because I don't know if I'll need it. I do have it over there, but let's get started. First thing is I will sort my lunge rein out. People hold them very differently. Some cross it backwards and forwards. There's lots of ways to hold it. You find the way that works best for you and hold it that way. This is the way I was taught. And I was also always taught not to have too many twists in it, which is not always easy. Now, first thing to do is, because I'm on my own, and this is the way I've taught horses to lunge because I'm always on my own, there's many different ways to teach them, particularly if you have 2 people. The first thing I need to do is she needs to go out and away from me with the shoulders. Otherwise she's going to barge straight through me. So that particular aid that I've taught her was here to take the shoulders out. That's a good girl. And now a little bit of forward feeling. Now she's a little bit close to me there with her shoulder, but this is a different feel, so that's okay. Now, basically, she is going around me in a circle. I want her shoulders out there. So if I need to move her shoulders out, I can just walk towards this shoulder. That's good girl. And walk towards this hind quarter and get her to stop. Good girl, good girl. This will turn into lunging, don't worry. And I actually do want to do a little bit of lunging with her. I just like her to find her balance on the circle. I'm just moving her shoulders out again, and then she can go off that way without me on her back. I usually have a flag. I don't even have that today. So now I'm just going to let her not play with that. Go out a bit further if she's comfortable. Good. Now I do keep my feet moving. I stay about in line with the shoulders personally, maybe the girth line, and I walk in the direction I want my horse to go. My energy is picked up and it's going that way too. And she's coming in on me there, so I ask her to move away. That's a girl. It was the shoulders that were crowding me. Now I'm going to ask her to go up into a trot by picking my energy up. Good, good girl. And I don't care that she stops. She hasn't done this before, remember? Got to build things. Rome wasn't built in a day. Pick my energy up. Good girl. Good girl. Keep her trotting this time. Good. Now I use a cavesson because I can usually control the pole better and get flexion. I'm not playing too much with that at the moment because I'm just getting her to go. Now I want her to stop, and yes, she does come and face me, but that's what she's been taught to do. And no, the classical lunge people don't like them to do that. They like them to stay straight, and that's fine. You can sort that out afterwards. I'm going to go the other way now. So she needs to take the shoulders out. No, see how that there is because she's not used to that pressure on the top of her nose. Good girl. Good girl. Just try and move her a little bit further away from the camera. Good girl. Turning here, so I'm just asking with my fingers, like squeezing a sponge. Good girl. Very good girl. No, move away. See how the shoulders came in at me? Just put some energy towards them. I'd like her to keep the same distance. Coming in already, so I'll just push her away. You've got to try and be in front of your horse. Feel when it starts to happen here. And horses are very consistent. Wherever they fall in, they usually fall in all the time. Let's see if we can get her up into trot. Pick my energy up. Thank you. Good girl. Now if she were to take off, don't worry about the high head carriage, guys. That's because I've got a feeling on that rope, on the lunge rein, because she's falling out there, and I'm just asking her to come around. Good girl. Good girl. Now she's going nicely, so I drop my body and relax nicely. And then I drop a little bit more and ask her to stop. Good. Good girl, eh? Good girl. Hey, how good girl you are. Whoops, hang on, we're not going anywhere just yet. Good girl. So that is the beginning of it. I'll do a little bit more and then come back at the end and show you how she looks after she's had a little bit more work at this. If anything happens, I'll keep the camera running, and if anything happens, I'll add it in. Otherwise, you don't just need to see her going round and round. Good girl. Whoopsie. Good. Whoop. So as I want her to go out here, so I'm going to go towards the shoulder. It's the shoulder that takes the horse out on the circle. Now it is very hard to keep a straight lunge rein, but when they're not keeping, see, that's how I'd like it to be. So I have a consistent pressure on it, just a light connection. That's enough connection there. I'm just going to see if I can actually get her to make the circle bigger. Whoopsie. Good girl, that's better. There. Gives her more room to move. Good, yes, good girl. Lovely. Now she's starting to swing a little bit. That's good. I'll just give her a break because she started to swing and that was nice. Good girl. Good girl. You can tell by her high head carriage that she's a little bit worried. So I'm just going to see if I can get her to relax. It's because this is different. We haven't done this before. Have we, love? Yeah, good girl. Good girl. Yeah, that's better. Yes, good girl. And a bit more relaxed. That's the way. So I'm just going to give her a little break here. Good girl. Okay. We'll go the other way. I'll just get my lunge rein sorted first. Still getting a tangle, guys, after all these years, so if you do, don't stress. I just stop and reorganise it when I can, and I've actually got a knot in that one. How I did that, I don't know. Just clever, weren't we? Okay, so shoulders need to go away. No, that's a step forward, and that's not away from me. No, there it is again, because otherwise she'd barge over me, and she's not allowed to. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Walk on. Good girl. Good girl. Very good girl. That's a nice little walk there. She's just starting to relax into it. That's good. Yeah, good girl. It's a much better walk there. Good rhythm. Okay, are we ready to go up? Good girl. Good. Good girl. See? She's a little unbalanced. Girl. So with me on her back, it would make it even harder for her. So she can find her balance here without me on her back. Good girl. Good girl. Whoops, I nearly got in front of her. So I try and stay level with the shoulder, or the elbow actually is probably where I try to be. Good. Out. Out. Good girl. Out you go. Out you go. That's it. That's a girl. Whoops, I'm going to get in front of her. I was quick enough to move back. I was about to get in front of her. Good girl. But can you see the trot's got a little bit of swing in it? Just need her to relax now and drop her head and neck. That happens, don't worry about it. Good girl. Just pretend it didn't happen. If she'd taken off a bit further there and didn't stop, go on. I would have just gone with her and tried to bend her a little bit. Now we're just pretending that didn't happen because it's no big deal. Come on. That's a girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good. Good girl. And walking. Walk on. Walking. Walk on. Okay, so that is the first walk on. Trot to walk transition we've done on the lunge. That was a nice little transition. So I've taught her these words from the ground because I need them when I'm riding her. In the beginning I did. Trot, trot. Good. Good girl. Good girl. And walking. Walk on. Walk on. Good, walk on. I don't want her stopping. Walk on. And trot, trot, trot. Trot. Good. And walking. Very good girl. And I'm going to stop her there. Give her a little rest because she did a nice down transition and didn't pause this time. She just walked forward. We're going to go back the other way. And then that'll be just today's lunge lesson. That's all she needs. She doesn't need anything else. That's enough for her. Tomorrow it'll get better and better. Every horse is different. Some come out and lunge beautifully. Some you might just end up on a 10-metre circle basically with a whip here trying to, like you do on the ground, teach the horse to stay out. Good. Good girl. Good girl. Walk on. Good girl. Good girl. Walk on. Good girl. Good girl. So usually you'll see me flap my lunge rein here. Well, I'm always watching my horse and I see her start to slow. And because I give an aid and she doesn't follow, I'll often click. All right, we're going to go up into trot. Ready? And trot. Good. I want her to go out, so I'll allow her to go out there. Touch it. Good girl. Let's come down here a little bit. That's good. Good girl. Good. Allow her out a bit. Good. Now I actually am starting to ask for a little bit of bend to the inside from the nose. Good, but to do that I have to get a feel. Whoop, that's my fault. Good girl. And that's okay, that happens, doesn't matter. Just ask her to go on. First of all, tell her that she's a good girl. Good girl, come on, off you go. Good girl. Good. Good. Very good. Very good. Good girl. That's nice. She's starting to stretch. Ooh. Too close to me. Go on, out you go. That's it. That's why I need some bend here. So her nose is heading out that way. Yep, that's it. My fault. My fault again. I was trying to explain stuff to you. So her haunches are in at me and her nose is facing out of the circle, completely the wrong bend. So to bend her properly, I need her to be connected to the rope. Good. Which usually means she needs to go forward, and then I just, there. And I get it, and then she looks back out again. And then I get it, and then she looks back out again. That's okay, she's learning. Good girl. Whoops, my fault again. See? Stuff happens, you don't worry about it. Good girl. Okay. Look at that. It's a nice little leg yield there. Hey, that's a nice little leg yield, isn't it? Good girl. All right. We'll just do a little bit more. Yep. Good girl. So here I need her to get in front of me. There. She needs to be in front of you on the lunge, not you in front of her. And when you lose all of your lunge rein like this and you've got a young horse, you don't worry too much about it. There we go. Good. Walk on, walk on, walk on, walk on. So this is all confusing to her because she's not done it. Walk on. Good girl. And that's okay. This is expected. You just don't worry about it. Just get her back on track. She needs to get in front of me again. Now she's in front of me, I can move her off. If you get in front of your horse and it stops, just don't worry about it. Trot, trot. Good girl. So we're starting to get a little bit of lower head carriage. Yeah, good. 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 That's, yes, good girl. And I always tell my horses when they're doing what I want, they will work it out. All right. Because that was a really nice way to finish, starting to stretch, and she's young and she's not fit by any stretch. That's enough work for her. I don't want to work her till she's exhausted and then she's going to hate working with me. Anyway, I hope that helps you to help your horse to lunge. Teach it to move its bits of its body first so that you can set the horse up to win. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.